can see, people are absolutely ruining their cars, trucks, trailers, and RVs trying to get out of Burning Man. They're impatient. They don't want to wait anymore. And, a lot of them got plenty of money, so it's worth it to them. They don't care if they ruin their vehicles while they try to get out of there. And oddly enough, the organizers are trying to start the mass exodus today. Basically, they're coming up with a plan to start getting people out of Burning Man, which is kind of odd because it's been estimated that they would need until at least Wednesday or Thursday for this mud to dry up, and that's if there was no rain. It rained yesterday, but lucky for them, this morning was kind of dry. But we got an interesting dynamic going on down here. You see, the everyday people, the people who I guess you would consider the real burners, they're out there. They're okay. They say they're prepared. We're going to sit here until everything's ready. They're trying to stay positive. A lot of them are still partying and whatnot. But there's a lot of rich, snobby people out there as well. They don't want to be trapped in the mud. They're not trying to wait until Wednesday or Thursday. They're trying to get out now. So what we're witnessing these organizers, they're going to try to get some of these people out of there. But the people that they're getting out of there are the more rich and powerful people who came with big RVs and big trucks and equipment. Those are the people that they're going to try to get out of there. You have to understand, there are thousands of people in tents. They don't even have vehicles. So they're not going to be able to leave at all. So this little mass exit plan, I think it may backfire. Because here's the thing. They need at least a couple of days for this mud to dry to the point that it needs to be dried in order for these people to leave. Every car that goes down the road through this mud, they're making the road even more difficult to navigate for the next person. So what's happening is all of these rich people are trying to exit and they're messing up the roads, making it even harder for everyone else who's going to try to leave within the next couple of days. And you see these organizers, they're trying to save face right now. I know that you may look at this situation and you hear a bunch of different stories, but that's because everyone down there is living a different reality. The organizers, they're trying to save face. They don't want, to look bad. They don't want Burning Man to get a bad name. That's what a lot of these people are worried about from the conversations I've had and from the information I've looked into. These people are less concerned about their safety and they're more concerned about the public image of Burning Man. So they don't want to give Burning Man a bad name. They're desperately trying to get all of these rich and powerful people out of there. As you can see, people like Chris Rock and stuff already escaped. But, it's not as easy for people who aren't as wealthy, who don't have as many resources, who don't have as many connections. And like I said, a lot of people are out there with nothing but the clothes on their back. They're not going to be able to escape until help comes. And there's a lot of people who are bogged down, almost cemented into this mud. So they're going to need tow trucks and equipment to get them out of the mud in the first place. So it's a very, very messed up situation. And now they're trying to start this mass exit earlier than what's suggested. Now, usually, in a normal Burning Man, with no rain, no mud, in a normal Burning Man, this mass exit, sometimes it takes people up to 12 to 15 hours. 12 to 15 hours to get out of Burning Man because the convoys are so long. There's so many cars. There's so many people leaving. So you will literally get stuck in a line for 12 to 15 hours just trying to leave Burning Man on a normal Burning Man. Now imagine the situation when you're in this mud. People are going to be getting stuck along the way. They're going to be blocking portions of the road. And maybe you can drive through the mud and make it out because it's dry enough. But can you sit in the mud for 12 hours and still inch forward every couple of minutes? It's a messed up situation. And, I'm happy that people are getting out, or I'm happy that the process is starting to get people out. But it looks like we may just have another dilemma on our hands if these people get stuck along the way. And we already saw people try to escape yesterday and they got stuck. So I don't think this is necessarily going to end well. whoever has the best trucks and the best equipment, they're going to be the ones getting out. But even though this mass exit plan has started for the more rich and wealthy, people who are out there at Burning Man, all of these other people are still out there, waiting to see what's going to happen. And from everything that I'm hearing on the ground, a lot of these rich and famous people, these celebrities, these tech billionaires and these crypto bros, Bitcoin people, a lot of them left really early on. They jumped ship really early on. And you see, that's not in true Burning Man spirit. What's happening at Burning Man right now is a perfect example of what Burning Man is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a self-reliant community that comes together. That everyone, you don't use money or anything like that. You exchange goods and services, and you come together and help everyone out. A lot of these rich and powerful people, they're there for the party. They don't give a damn about the message of Burning Man. So they tried to get out very quickly. But you want to know what's weird? A lot of the normal people who maybe aren't as famous and wealthy, some of them have tried to leave as well. And people are literally chasing them down and blocking them from leaving. So it's really interesting to me how some people are allowed to leave, how there's this plan to get some people out, while it's basically, forget all of those other people who couldn't afford RVs and big trucks. All those people in the flooded tents, we're not worried about them. They should be the first priority, in my opinion, before you start, evacuating all of these millionaires in their huge RVs and trailers. I think that you should be getting out the people who are stuck in tents full of mud and poop water and sewage water. That's who should be getting out first, but it's the other way around. All of these rich people are going to get out. They're going to make the road even worse. Who knows? In the process, there may be more rain, and then these people who are there are going to be, SOL. But let's go ahead and roll this clip so you can see what I'm talking about. People are literally getting chased down, and their cars and RVs are getting blocked for trying to leave.
Hold up. Shit's about to go down. What the
So
fuck?
yeah, isn't that really weird? And from what I could see, I can't tell from the video, but from the looks of it, it looks like those are just regular festival goers who are blocking these people from leaving. They're trying to force these people to abide by the rules because right now, there's a lockdown, there's a shelter-in-place order. So they're trying to stop people from leaving. And, I understand why. But at the same time, if they're already coming up with this plan to evacuate all of these other people, then I don't see why you should be enforcing the rules on, these people who are trying to get out as well. So it's a very scary, very weird situation. There's some very interesting dynamics going on the ground. But also, let's think about this. They're going to try to start the mass exit today, which I think is a very bad move. The people who are going to be exiting first, like I keep saying, are the people with the big trucks, the big trailers. It's going to be the people who came out there with more money. It's going to be the wealthy people who came out there fully stocked and prepared with food and water. Those are the ones that are going to be leaving early. Who's going to be left behind? All of the people that don't have as much money. All of the people who came with no supplies. So right now, we have a recipe for disaster. The mud has not dried out all of the way. The road has not dried out all of the way. Sure, you may see a couple of cars get through, but there's 73,000 people out there. At some point, going through this mud, after you have 10,000 vehicles try to get through the mud, it's not going to work anymore. And you're going to tear up this road and make it impossible for anyone else to travel down it. So what's happening is they're going to evacuate all of the people who actually have the goods and supplies, the food, the water, and the shelter, and then everyone else is going to still be stuck. And then the situation will undoubtedly even get worse because now all of the food and water is gone. A lot of these people who are in tents, they don't bring anything. At Burning Man, there's free food, free drinks everywhere. You don't go out to Burning Man really with food. The people who do are the rich people with RVs and all of these other big trailers. So once all of these trailers leave with all of the food and the water and all of the shelter, what happens to all of these other people? Where do these other people go? You know, what supplies are they going to have? And if you mess up the roads trying to exit this place, then how are people going to get in to help them? So the situation isn't over yet, not by a long shot. And I think that we're going to see chaos as these people try to exit this festival. Let me know your thoughts though down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.